Good evening and welcome to UNSW's Postgrad Info Evening. It's great to have you all joining us this evening. My name is Lena and I'm a Senior Recruitment Product Manager here at UNSW. I'm here tonight with my colleague Michael, who is our International Regional Advisor, and Manu, a current postgrad student who is studying the Master of Combined Arts and Social Science. Together we're going to walk you through postgrad study at UNSW Sydney. Now, before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders people who may be joining us today. If you have any questions throughout the evening, please ask away in the chat and one of our future student advisors will respond to you. So why choose UNSW? UNSW is in the top 20 of all universities globally, and we're ranked 19th in the world according to the QS World Rankings for 2025. We've also educated more CEOs than any other university in Australia, and according to the Australian Financial Review, for the past 5 years, UNSW has produced Australia's most employable graduates. Whether you're looking to launch your dream career, climb the corporate ladder, or switch industries, UNSW has a range of programs to help you expand your industry network and connect with our global alumni community. At UNSW Sydney, you can choose to study a postgrad qualification in one of 6 study areas: arts, design and architecture, business, engineering, law and justice, medicine and health, or science. Now to your experience, UNSW offers a range of career development programs available to you as a postgrad student, which covers resume writing, interview skills and career planning. You'll have the opportunity to meet with a UNSW career coach to plan your career journey and enhance your employability. We also have more than 300 clubs and sports teams if you want to be social or active, and volunteering opportunities to gain experience and give back to the community. You can find more details about these on the ARC website. Now, to take a closer look at postgrad study for our domestic students. I'll be running through how to apply, how to use the degree finder, and pathways to postgrad coursework. So how to apply to UNSW? There are 2 ways of applying for a postgrad degree at UNSW. While for most programs you can apply through our Apply Online portal, some programs require an application through the University Admissions Centre, UAC. Application for programs within the School of Population Health, Juris Doctor, the Master of Teaching Primary or Secondary are made through the University Admissions Centre. The UAC website will have key dates and final closing dates to be aware of for each of these programs. For all our other programs, you can submit your application through our Apply Online portal. The closing dates for each of these are as follows. So Term 1 is the 30th of January, Term 2 is the 8th of May, and Term 3 is the 28th of August. The enrolment deadline for programs that run on HEX semesters for HEX 1 is the 9th of January and the 6th of March for HEX 2. Applications submitted after these dates are still accepted but are subject to available places. Here you'll see a screenshot of the University Admissions Centre postgrad portal and our UNSW Apply Online portal. Remember, please post any questions you may have in the chat. Now to our degree finder. The degree finder is a great tool to use when looking for information on entry requirements, comparing programs and any additional criteria that may be required when applying to UNSW. One of our future students will pop the link in the chat now so you can explore. Here you can see an example of our degree finder page. You can search by your area of interest, gain an overview and structure of the program, entry requirements, future careers, how to apply, and the related program fees. There is also a section including information around Commonwealth supported places and if available scholarships are available for that program. A Commonwealth supported place is a spot at a university that is subsidised by the Australian government, meaning students who receive a CSP place don't pay full course fees. Instead, the Australian government pays one part and you pay the smaller student contribution fee. This can make postgrad study more affordable, and if you choose to apply for HEX help, you can defer the remaining fees without needing to pay upfront. All domestic applicants will be considered when applying for a CSP degree through Apply Online. If you're applying through UAC, you'll need to apply for a CSP when you're doing your preferences. It's important to know that not all programs offer a Commonwealth supported place. Some degrees are only domestic fee paying, and if you're a domestic fee paying student, you may be eligible to defer your tuition fees via fee help. UNSW has a range of scholarships available where students from all around the world can find the support that they need to succeed. Our scholarships aren't just based on your grades. UNSW values leadership skills, extracurricular interests, and your passion to study with us. Our globally recognised scholarships will provide financial support and acknowledge your academic excellence. So, postgrad degree options. There can be different entry points and durations for our postgrad degrees. You can start with a graduate certificate or graduate diploma, which are shorter programs and generally under a year in duration. These are perfect if you want a shorter study duration rather than committing to an entire master's degree. And these courses will allow you to articulate into a master's degree later if you wish. Alternatively, you can choose to study another globally recognised master's degree, which in most cases are 2 years long. This can be reduced through recognition of prior learning, which I'll explain in a moment. Each degree has its own set of entry requirements. If you are ineligible, you can start with a graduate certificate or graduate diploma and articulate into a master's degree afterwards. Some frequently asked questions around study loads and modes of learning. So, can I study part-time? Well, yes, as a domestic student, you do have that flexibility over your studies, and you can choose to be a part-time or full-time student or swap back and forth as you wish. International students have less flexibility and are bound by visa regulations. You should be studying full-time and at present can work 48 hours per fortnight. So what does full-time study look like? As a full-time student, you can take 8 courses over the year, say 3 in term 1, 3 in term 2, and 2 in term 3, for example. So will my classes be online or in person? So UNSW's postgrad offering face-to-face, online and hybrid degrees. You can find out more about the delivery of the mode of the program you're interested in via the Degree Finder. Take the Master of Commerce as example. This program has a face-to-face blended delivery mode, so you may have an online lecture and a face-to-face tutorial or vice versa. When are my classes scheduled? So USW postgrad programs are designed for those who are working so classes are generally in the evening. However, we cannot guarantee that every course will be outside business hours. Some programs offer short course mode teaching like intensive and weekend classes. Remember to continue your questions as our future student advisors are ready to help. So recognition of prior learning. So this is something you can apply for if you have previous study or are looking at an articulation pathway or transferring from a different tertiary provider. There are 2 ways to do this. So through the UAC process, once you have accepted your offer, you can lodge an application for transfer credit. If you're using Apply Online, when you're submitting your application, just make sure you tick the Advanced Standing box to indicate you'd like to be assessed for credit by our admissions office. As part of the UNSW recognition of prior learning policy, students may be offered credits for courses amounting to a maximum of 50% of their degree requirements. However, this will be assessed on a case-by-case basis, and credit can only be awarded for those courses completed no more than 10 years prior. Now I'll pass over to Michael, who's going to take you through postgrad study for international students.
Thanks, Lena. Hi everyone, my name is Michael and I work as an International Regional Advisor here at UNSW, and I'm pleased to join you today to talk about applying to UNSW as an international student and highlight some of the subtle but important differences you'll need to be aware of. I'll be covering what you can see on the slide here, but before I move on, it's important to highlight these words about our degrees being globally recognised. This is important to our international students because they want to know that their degree from UNSW will be recognised in their home country and elsewhere in the world, and they absolutely are. More importantly, our position as a world top 20 university means that your degree from UNSW will carry additional weight with employers. Upon graduating from UNSW, you will have an accredited, globally recognised and highly sought after qualification from one of the world's best universities. In the same way that's been outlined earlier by Lena, you apply for your chosen program via the Apply Online portal. A key difference here is that there are a number of deadlines to consider in the application process. Our Apply on Time deadline will ensure that your application will be assessed for the term in which you have applied. However, please be aware that some of our more popular courses will close to applications earlier due to demand. We always recommend you apply as soon as you are able to. The second key deadline is our acceptance deadline. We are strict with these due to visa application times. Please be aware that the application process takes some time from submission, assessment, and offer through to acceptance, confirmation of enrolment, and visa application. Therefore, do act early. It is also important to point out that as an international student, you need to be studying full-time. This is a requirement for the international student visa as set out by the Department of Home Affairs in Australia. You've already seen previously what the Degree Finder page looks like and how a program page appears. The essential information listed at the top of each program webpage includes the degree overview, entry requirements, program structure, how to apply, fees, and scholarships. However, one essential thing you need to do on the program page you are looking at is to change the view so that it is set to international. This updates the entry requirements and fees information specifically. Generally, entry requirements are based on academic achievement. There are some occasions where professional experience may be required, or you can support your application, but you'll be made aware of these requirements either through the Apply portal or after you've applied, when our admissions teams will instruct you. What you'll often see under the Entry Requirements tab for international students is a credit average, or WAM, which stands for Weighted Average Mark. To work out whether you're likely to meet this mark, you'll need to use the Postgraduate Coursework Entry Score calculator. You should be able to see this on screen now. Here you can add in your undergraduate grades, marks or scores, and the calculator will give you an indication of the UNSW equivalent mark you have attained. If you think you meet these requirements, ensure you have your degree certificate and transcript so that the admissions team can assess these. All international students studying at UNSW will also need to prove English language proficiency. There are 4 ways to achieve these requirements. You can do an English test, or you can do the UNSW College English course, prior study, or reside in a deemed English-speaking country, or meet 2 of our conditions listed for an English waiver. The most common way international students meet these requirements is through the IELTS test, which is one of the most commonly available and recognised tests, but I would encourage you to explore all options on the English requirements webpage. The Australian Department of Home Affairs has placed additional responsibility onto Australian universities to ensure their incoming international students are fully aware of and comply with all student conditions. In some cases, UNSW has taken additional measures by requiring students to go through Genuine Student, or GS, checks, which involves providing financial documentation and personal statements, where applicable, to comply with these new responsibilities. The additional steps may be requested by UNSW admissions according to the Department of Home Affairs country guidelines. The steps may only be completed by an authorised UNSW agent, or if there is not one available in your home country, a UNSW regional manager. Use our Find an Agent tool on our website. There will likely be one in your closest city, but if not, you can arrange a video consultation. It is your responsibility to ensure you are informed on GS requirements. To find out more on the GS process, please refer to the link provided by the Future Student Advisors in the Q&A chat. Also note that the GS is changing to a Genuine Student test in the near future, and that guidance may change. Once you have met all academic requirements and GS requirements required by the university, you will receive an offer that you can accept. Once you accept that offer, you will be issued with a confirmation of enrolment. Once you have this, it is the first step towards obtaining your student visa. Moving on to international scholarships, we have a huge range of scholarships available to international students. If you are eligible for a scholarship based on your nationality, this will be automatically applied to your application. On top of that, you are encouraged to apply for any others you think are relevant to your academic background and work or life experiences and achievements. In terms of how to apply, you'll need to have an offer from UNSW, so apply for your degree of choice first. Use your UNSW ID to log into the scholarship webpage and search for international scholarships. Apply for the scholarship or scholarships before the due date. And where can you find guidance? You can contact the Future Students team by following the web address on the slide. If you require more bespoke assistance, we suggest you employ the services of one of our agents, and we'll post the link to the Find an Agent tool on our website. Now we will move on to our Q&A part of the session. Please continue to pop your questions into the chat. Back to you, Lena.
Thanks, Michael. Before we get to your questions, we want to hear from Manu to find out where postgrad study can take you. Manu, it's so great to have you here this evening. Can you please tell us, what has your postgrad experience been like?
Time flies so fast. I can still remember the day one I was here at campus and taking photographs and realizing myself at UNSW. That was a dream come true moment for me. I can't still believe that I'm going to graduate this year.
Wow.
Whenever people ask me, how is your experience at UNSW, I'm always happy to share my experience because this campus has changed my life totally. Now I stop, listen, think, and respond. I would say I started thinking out of the box now.
Thanks so much. So how are you enjoying your master's program?
First thing I really want to mention about my classroom experience. My classmates are from all over the world. It's so nice to hear their own experience and their own culture, and I was always curious to learn from their cultural perspectives and their language, especially cultural differences.
Interesting.
And also, when I talk about my personal growth, I see from the day one I joined here, I can see a different person and perspectives in myself on how I look myself as well as others. It totally changed. And I have learned to respect other cultures, especially started listening to people from different cultural backgrounds and accepting the diverse practices from different countries. I should say this, before I was a very quiet person and I never talk much in public before. But I can see that I'm opening up, I'm expressing myself, I'm sharing my ideas with others. So it makes me so confident in front of everybody. When I talk about my community involvement, I would like to say being involved in volunteer activities is such a good learning experience in UNSW. I volunteered at various clubs and societies, and I value my volunteer experience, and it helps me a lot to realize the real world applications. And I should talk about my academic improvement for sure. And I can see a big difference in my learning pattern. I learned to write academic papers, and which is highly necessary in the postgraduate level. And for example, when we do our assignments, we have to prove it from journal articles, research papers as evidence. And I can see nowadays, even if I need to find out something that I'm looking for, myself personally, I will just see the journal articles, research papers, what are the evidence shows. So yeah, that's quite interesting. Um, and during, especially, I had a huge support from my professors and UNSW's academic skills unit during my assignments to structure my ideas and write it in an academic way. Especially, my professors are so helpful and they encourage me to send them emails and ask my to ask any doubts that I have related to assignments, and they will clear that immediately.
Yes.
And especially the Moodle learning platform is really helpful in terms of my classmates, they ask doubts. Sometimes I will have the same question in my mind, but I would not ask on the Moodle, but at the same time, my friend would have asked that. So that was very easy for me to recall myself and learn that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sounds like you're having a great experience here.
of course, yes.
So how do you think studying at UNSW has helped you progress your skills and learning and create a network for your future career?
Yeah. I would definitely say networking is very important to get a job. So the main idea behind networking is to know how the industrial experience look like and learning from experience of other people by looking at how they landed in a particular job that
Yeah.
we want to end up. So I gained a lot of contacts while I was volunteering in clubs and societies, especially UNSW conducts networking events. So I met a lot of seniors from networking events, especially UNSW alumni, and that was really helpful for me to providing information related to the career that I'm looking for. So one more important thing by attending career fairs and networking events, it improves communication and analytical skills, the way how we think, the way how we decide on, especially decision making. So especially we will be confident about ourselves on what to do next in our career pathway.
Great. And do you have any advice for people thinking of studying a postgrad at UNSW?
Yes, I do. I would say UNSW is the best choice for your postgrad if you're planning to study further. It brings everything in one classroom and beyond that. And you can learn a lot from your classmates and discussions with them and from your professors. And also, you will meet a lot of people having various experience and you can learn from them. And also, UNSW is known for its highest employability rate in the industry. The best part of UNSW has language support for other language speakers. So never feel bad about your language. Always think knowledge is important. So language will develop in their own space and time. And we have a lot of programs in UNSW, especially such as Pele, personalized English language enhancement. So this course is designed to help to enhance your communication skills and the way that you want to answer your own thoughts in English. So there is another program called Let's Communicate. My friend is participating in this program and she was telling me about this program. And Let's Communicate, this program offers free weekly English conversation workshops and for all the international students, yes. And you will develop your communication skills and connect with other students through activities, interactive games. And yeah, I'm confident that anyone going to choose UNSW is going to have the best experience in their life.
Thanks, Manu. We're going to take some questions from the chat now. Michael, so I think I might throw this one to you. I'm an international applicant. Can I apply for a scholarship?
Yeah, absolutely. So UNSW offers a wide range of scholarships and awards to support international postgraduate coursework. Students commencing full-time study at UNSW.
Great. Thanks so much. Okay, I'm just going to see another one. All right, so what flexible options are available to domestic students who want to study a postgrad degree while keeping my job? I might take this one. Okay, so at UNSW, we understand that postgrad studies are often juggled around work and family commitments. There are a range of flexible study options depending on your program of interest. So some flexible study options offered at UNSW include part-time study, online lectures, and tutorials, and then different class times. So Michael, I'm going to throw this one to you. So it says, I'm from Indonesia. Can I chat with someone from my region for more information?
Yeah, so UNSW has a dedicated international team all over the world. So we do have dedicated teams, especially in Indonesia in this instance, who can give you study advice and answer your questions about studying at UNSW.
Okay, Manu, I might throw this one to you. So how do you value the flexibility of your postgrad studies?
I felt more comfortable in this period of time because for many people in my class, they work, they come to class after 6 p.m. So it has to be more flexible for them, especially because we are like working people.
Yeah.
So UNSW has a special consideration for all the students. We no need to submit any medical or anything for this particular thing. We have short extensions. That's really helped me to finalize my assessments, even though if I'm late to submit, because in the last moment we find a lot of ideas and we like to include everything in a organized way. So I really found it helpful and it is very flexible for everyone.
Thanks so much, Manu. That's all the questions that we have time for this evening. Please know that you can contact our future student advisors by phone, email, or on the live chat. If you are still considering postgrad study and would like specific information about any of our postgrad degrees, we are offering the chance for you to book a personalised one-to-one online consultation with a UNSW academic who can answer your course-related questions in detail. These bookings are for domestic students only and are available over a 3-day period, from Tuesday the 22nd to Thursday the 24th of October. We will be sending you an email following this event with a link to where you can book your one-to-one academic consults. Thank you for joining us this evening, and good night.